Challenger has entered the arena. Take him down. And is obviously, like a lot of the hands with this deck, it doesn't look like it's curving out particularly aggressively. But kind of just does what it needs to do. Builds momentum. Not that many decks that play basic island. I wonder what we're up against. 2 islands. Seems like a control deck. Brain in a jar. What? This card's pretty cool. The Aether Vial for spells. Some like to call it. So... probably going to regret the way that I sequence my lands. Hope I don't. Do you have a quarantine field sideboard for unusual artifacts such as Brain in the Jar? Making Thoughts. That is a lot different than Anticipate. Wonder if my opponent has some good way to make use of the madness part of it. So, what do I want to do here? Fortunately, all of this is quite strange. I'm happy that I'm getting all my Hangarback Walkers into play underneath counter magic, but I'm a little worried just because I have no idea what my opponent's doing. Would be nice to have some sort of pressure with Planeswalker, but so do we just have these Hangarback Walkers, which are kind of like Planeswalkers that, like, Planeswalker Light. I mean, I have built up 5 power and toughness, so I'm gonna let him have it. It's kind of up to him to do something. Definitely a very cool card. Although, a lot more mana intensive than Aether Vial. I have to imagine there's got to be some pretty cool synergies going on in this deck. You don't put a Madness card in your deck for no reason. My opponent's going to be ramping up. I wonder if at some point he's going to like bounce my whole board or something. I also wonder if he's going to counter this. It's not. Demand to know what you are doing. You're going to like fog me? It's pretty good. I don't have a counterspell for that. Might be my one good chance to slip this through some assumed counter magic. Hopefully it just doesn't have like a 3-mana bounce spell. But at this point, like, I have no idea what he has. So, alright, you tap my guy, sure. I wonder if he's gonna kill me with like Part the Water Veil or something. Dude, this guy is digging. I certainly couldn't punish him with my draw. My draw was so slow. I mean, 3 Hangarback Walkers in a row, and I didn't sequence my lands perfectly. So. Secure the Wastes is pretty bad against Engulf the Shore. Guess I just play this. If I could get him like a little bit lower, I think I might even just like play a Hangarback Walker for 0. Just to like shoot him for 3. It's obviously pretty aggressive. It's got to be like a lot lower before I start doing that. If there's a deck like this that's good, it's kind of a good metagame call, because everyone's like overloading on sweepers. You could just play like a creatureless deck, that'd be kind of insane. Fortunately, I have to imagine you just get like run over by a lot of stuff. Like you play against a white weenie deck and you can like bounce their whole board with Engulf the Shores, but then they can just replay their whole board turn. It is sweet that like you can just Engulf the Shores for 1 mana whenever you want. Hit you this time? I feel like my opponent's trying to decide if he wants to bounce or not. He's gonna take it? Wow. I like seeing that. Now, I almost want to play this Hangarback Walker for 0. Knock him to 4. I think I'm going to. Huh. I wonder if he's light on action. Starting to think he just doesn't have counter spells. If he chose to take the damage, I wonder if that means his hand is so good he thinks there's no way he'll take damage for the rest of the game. Or if it means that he's light on action and he's trying to like make the most of it and use his life total as a resource. They're like obviously 2 polar opposite things. Ugh. So that is how you win. Whoa! Dude, insane. That's so sick. Dude, did you just see what he just did? God, this guy's a madman. Certainly happy that I've secured the wastes, but hope he doesn't take like another extra turn. So I'm a little concerned about like if I play Avacyn, if he just takes another turn, I'm like has like a tap thing, I'm like basically dead. Pretty sure the safest thing is just to play secure the wastes and trade with like 3 of these. Actually, I only get to trade with 2 of them. But I can trade with 2 of them, and then I can chump block another. And if my opponent has like 1 tap thing, it's like not as big of a deal. I can start digging my way out from there. Keep the 1 back. So this way I'll only take 8, which really isn't so bad. Sure, there's some better lines of play, but I just obviously have no idea what my opponent's capable of. I don't know if he's just going to cast that spell again and then take another turn, but so I can play a Hangarback for 2 with Dromoka's command open. Or I can try to just play the Archangel. Feel like he would need 3 attacks to kill me, unless he's got another one of those things. Rise from the Tides. You could potentially scry 6. Maybe find another. Starting to run out of cards. That I'd rather do this than have the Dromoka's command open. I suspect that his deck isn't built to like go infinite with the with his Part the Water Veils. And it seems like he's probably got access, or will soon have access to another thing that can tap a creature down. So if I play Archangel Avacyn, I feel like there's a good chance she won't do much blocking duty. That said, if my opponent doesn't make some significant attacks soon, I'm just going to play Archangel Avacyn and then Hangarback Walker for 0. Can't imagine my opponent has much interaction for this, but he has anything that can interact, I would love to bait it out. Sure. I love it. So, I think it's time to go for the Hail Mary move. This could be our demise. If he has another Disperse, it's really bad. If he doesn't, it's really good. But with him only having 4 zombies, seems like a good time to go for it. And if it doesn't work this turn, we can just do it again on the following turn. So it's time to just start jamming the stuff we can do. Alright, can you bounce my guy or not? Do it again next turn if you do. I mean, we got 3 Hangarback Walkers, so it's like... Nice! We did it! It's also particularly relevant because it deals 1 damage, or 3 damage to him. So... he's a lot closer to dying. Like now, just end of turn, Archangel Avacyn. Just swoop in and finish him off. This deck is pretty sweet. I wonder how good it is. Seems like it could be good. Seems very hard for it to be great though. Like I just don't know what this deck is doing against white aggro deck. Still has 5 cards in hand too. I wonder what they are. What if he has like some sort of finisher? We can get up to like another part the Water Veil. Might be in like striking distance. Gonna hold up my Stasis Snare just in case he does have something like a overloaded part the Water Veil. No, not overload. What should we call it? Awakened. He's got to be building up also to an absolutely huge... He's got his part the Water Veil now. But he's got to be building up to an absolutely huge rise from the tides. Could it be now? Oh no, this is going to be the one that kills me. Dude, look at all these creatures! LOL. Well, that's absurd. Alright, we're dead. Oh my god. Alright, so... I think I'm just gonna bring these in, even though they basically do nothing. Evolutionary Leap's way too slow. The flash threats are okay and secure the wastes. Quarantine Field can get one of those things. Guess I'll bring the Declaration in stone, although I don't really expect to actually catch him with it. Seems like the most likely thing is he makes all of his tokens and then just kills me in one shot. But so I'm playing all of my, like, unfortunately these are my efficient threats. and then I've got this for my removal. This to hopefully get an awakened land from the extra turn thing. This can potentially get the artifact that is his mana accelerant, Brain in a Jar. Declaration Stone may be able to get all the tokens he creates. But I'm certainly hoping to have a hand that's better than 3 Hangarback Walkers in a row. Alright, so hopefully I have what I wanted in a hand that is better than 3 Hangarback Walkers, and I got it. I'm going to play Oath on turn 1 off this Fortified Village, turn 2 Sylvan Advocate, and then on turn 3 I can decide if I need a land or a spell with my second Oath. I guess I can kind of decide that with my first one too, but I definitely want to play this Gideon on turn 4. That is for sure. Ooh, and we got a mulligan. Opponent scries to the bottom. Off to the races. So Nissa is quite perfect. I think the Planeswalkers are going to be hard for him to deal with in this matchup. The fact that when he bounces all the tokens, they're gone forever is certainly a nice consolation prize, but this is definitely the start that we're looking for. Definitely the start that I signed up for, at least. Opponent seems to have a good start as well. Nice, and this was a phenomenal draw. It's perfect. And we should be able to get a big hit in before he has access to the 4 mana bounce everything. So I think likely next turn I will definitely gonna play Gideon, but committing like a lot of resources to the board is very good. So I think that I'm going to be playing the Gideon, just making an emblem. Whoa. Great. I'm still going to do this. But it would have been nice to have like Gideon in play. Pushing our opponent for a little more. I have to imagine he doesn't have very many good ways to deal with Planeswalkers once they're on the board. So on our opponent's turn, I think I'm going to be making a plant with Nissa, and then making an emblem with Gideon. Yeah, definitely with the second Gideon, that's what we're going to do. So with the emblem, this Lambholt Pacifist is actually just a 2-mana 4/4 that can attack. I think that's probably better than the Inspector. And this is also nice because now Nissa can just endlessly spit out plants, and at least they do something. Before the emblem, Nissa is a lot worse. As soon as you add, 4 Gideon into the equation of a deck, Nissa Voice of Zendikar becomes a lot better. Our opponent's missing land drops, despite him spending a little bit of card draw. So he mulliganed once on the draw, so it's like not that bad in terms of hitting your land drops, but certainly unfortunate for our opponent. A lot of pressure. And we have him dead. And we will run it back. And this is not a particularly great hand, but it could be the start of one. Certainly can't mulligan it. Like, Plains Forest and Thraben Inspector is like... It's just like what this deck does. If you're gonna mulligan this hand, you're crazy. Especially when you're on the draw. So in game 1, we had a pretty bad start, and our opponent's deck was clearly able to capitalize on it. In game 2, our opponent stumbled on mana a little bit, and that ended up being his undoing. Playing just another 1/1 seems pretty weak. I think what I really want to do is just make sure I hit my land drop so I can play this Gideon. But yeah, so game 2 he stumbled a little bit on lands, and we were on the play. We were able to capitalize on that. And we had a good draw. It'll be interesting to see how things go this game, where our draw is like okay, but not great. Since we have a good play lined up for the following turn, I'm just going to play the Hangarback here. I don't really need to draw a card right now. I have enough things to do, and I have my land drops in order. If I do get a chance to play Gideon, it might be a good opportunity to make an emblem. See what my opponent does. My opponent does nothing. I don't really want to do anything because he could have the thing that bounces my whole board. It is an instant. So now what do I want to do? See if this Gideon resolves. If it resolves, I think that I'll just make a token. Again, I don't really want to make an emblem if my whole board is going to get bounced, but if I can catch my opponent with the shields down to any extent, making an emblem is likely what I'll want to do. So you have like a Clash of Wills. Right. You're just spinning the old wheels. So Anticipate is obviously much better at digging than Thraben Inspector, but you gotta give a little bit of a nod to Thraben Inspector being a body on the board. Certainly counts for something. So I'd love to just animate my Gideon and bash, but again, the whole that 4-mana card that bounces everything to the opponent's hand is not what I'm looking for. In this particular case, though, my opponent only has 3 mana open, so it might be a good opportunity for me to just plus Gideon and bash. I might actually just emblem. I think I'm just gonna emblem. If I mean, it puts him on like a 2-turn clock, so he has to interact with my creatures. And it also means that my Secure the Waste can be potentially devastating. And if he had something that tapped 1 creature, turning my Gideon into a creature and attacking with it, like, would be easily answered with just simply tapping it down. But this large suite of creatures is a lot harder to deal with. So I think it looks like our draw is going to be fast enough. And if Thraben Inspectors beating down on the draw are good enough, I have to imagine that this deck might just actually be very good. We'll see. Maybe he can do some fancy stuff and barely squeeze by. Bounce my board, that'd be good. Ooh, I think he wanted to wait for Archangel Avacyn to resolve first. I think he made an error. Don't have any more Dromoka's commands in my deck. If I can draw a Gideon or a Nissa here, I can win on the spot. Can I do it? Oh man, I'm good at asking for things off the top of my deck and having them show up. Well, that was insane. So, opponent punted, but I don't know, if he had sequenced that right, maybe he could have won.